more than any time in the past in the alluvial mining sector. Now, this significant investment in mechanized mining has somehow not translated into higher production. And hence, I think that's what the chairman was alluding to. Do you have any mechanism to audit all of these mechanized mining operations? Is there any mechanism that's currently in place? For example, how reliable is the information that we receive from these mining operators that are working in partnership with our landowners? If they are investing significantly, and we know the investment is still increasing, and the information tells us that production is going down, it's not increasing in line with the level of investment, then obviously logic suggests that there's something not right. And given the figures that you told us were at peak, we were our small holder producers, and this is before the start of the investment. Before the start of the mechanized investment from interest, production was at 120,000 ounces. We have all this investment in the last 5 years, and then production suddenly drops to 40,000 ounces. It's not correlating with the investment. So I'm coming back to this one. Do we have a mechanism that checks all of these mining investors, particularly in alluvial mining? Obviously, in your hard rock area, you've got systems there that collect the information for you from Oktedi, Pogra, and Lihir, and perhaps other smaller mines. But do you have anything in the alluvial mining sector that checks these mechanized mining operations in the alluvial sector, if they are actually reporting correctly or not?
No. Based on the fact that we have a capacity issue, I'd like to see the MRA has a compliance team that goes out. If there is a question on the reports that we get, we suspect that something is not right, the compliance team will have to check on the ground. We just don't have the capacity to do that. We just at times. Does
MRA have any intention to put in such a mechanism?
We have an intention to do that. We have a restructure coming up. And
how long is that going to take?
I cannot give you an answer right now.
Is it going to take 1 year, 3
maybe
years,
1 year,
10 years?
Yeah.
You see where my questions are going. We are going to miss this opportunity. And already we've lost 5 years or so, where it's quite evident that something is not right in the sector, and we are getting lots of complaints from our own people who say that they are victims in these arrangements. Well-meaning, the arrangements are well-meaning, but as you put it yourself, our people are not highly educated to understand what's happening. But we are educated enough to understand that the level of production should follow the level of investment. In this case, it's going in the opposite direction. So we know something is wrong. And the question is, as one of the responsible agencies, or perhaps in terms of mining, you are the responsible agency. How quickly can we mount up an effort to ensure that the reports are done correctly, one, that our people are treated honestly and fairly, and such a mechanism, what would it cost? Because at the end of the day, yourself as the agency responsible for mining, if you have a capacity issue, this speaks to the mandate of this committee. This committee is a public sector reform committee, and this committee recognizes that there is a huge gap in the capacity to police the alluvial mining sector, and hence these inquiries have been put together to respond to the very serious concerns of our people As you know, I think there's been a couple of deaths already where our people have taken the law into their own hands. They're dissatisfied with the services provided by their government in ensuring that their interests are protected. And our people are taking the law into their own hands because we are not, by we I mean you, your agency, has not responded quickly enough. And it comes back to this concern I have. If you are going to mount an intervention to resolve these very serious concerns that our people have, but not just our people. For me, speaking on behalf of the state, if the state owns this gold, as the law says, then someone is cheating us out of what the state is rightfully entitled to under law. So again, my serious concern about the speed at which I think you should be moving as the regulatory authority. So if I may suggest to you on behalf of the chairman and the committee that your agency takes a serious look at this, and we've got a budget coming up. I know funds are scarce across the country, but if we are going to, talking about an 80,000 ounce per year loss in gold production, that's pretty serious. I don't know what 80,000 ounces is worth these days. What's the price? $5,000 an ounce? Where is it sitting? 3,700. Thank you, sir. Dollars an ounce. So that's over $240 million that is missing, and that has been missing for the last 4 years. And that's a serious deficit. Any country would be jumping up and down and be serious about how we intervene. So my suggestion to you is to talk to Mr. Gary, and all of you get these numbers together in terms of these losses, which are your own numbers that you've provided to the committee, and make an urgent application to Treasury that this is a matter that needs to be prosecuted urgently. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Governor Bird. Mr. Nekitel, I think the questions are very straightforward. If you could prepare some responses to those. You can speak, obviously, and answer some if you can off the top of your head, but some written responses would be good. Indeed, it's very alarming that this is happening. Did this ring any alarm bells at all in your organization? Like, does your organization have an entity that would say, we're looking at these figures and we're very concerned that something's not adding up, so we're going to send a team to find out what's going on? Was that a consideration ever by your organization? And if so, then do you think it's a capacity issue? Does your organization have analysts, investigators, people who are qualified to go out there and find out what's happening? What's happening in the world is that the gold price is shooting and continuously, breaking records. And production is evident everywhere you care to look. Wherever there's alluvial gold activities, there is every man and his dog is out there panning away somewhere. So there's more people involved. Then there's mechanized mining. Then we have very credible intelligence. You can see it. You don't, need to just hear about it. If you take a trip to, say, Bulola Wow, for instance, or anywhere where there's alluvial mining, you can see foreign entities involved. So this tells us that there is a huge flurry of activity, but as you yourself have pointed out, production has dropped, and as Governor Bird has stated. So just very quickly, Mr. Nekitel, does your organization have within itself a capacity to analyze this information and react? And if not, then why not? Is it a funding issue? What are your thoughts? I'd just like your thoughts on that.
We rely on reports that we get, but we should have the capacity to follow on the reports. If we know that something is not right and report does not correlate or equate to what actually activity on the ground in that, it's our duty to go and check to make sure that people are reporting honestly and correctly. We regulate from permitting to production, post-production commercialization. of valuable minerals is the responsibility of the bank, central bank. So we assist in providing stats on the production, but when it comes to permitting exports, the bank takes over that responsibility. So we do collaborate with the bank to try and check gold, authorized gold exporters, to make sure that what they produce for export, they do not conceal things in the exports. All of that. I think it really has to do with our borders and its tightening. To check properly, there's a lot of compromising, I would say, that allows these materials to get through our borders. So, again, as I say, exporting, commercialization is the responsibility of the bank. We don't permit that. We just assist to make sure that, activities leading up to that are done properly according to our law.
Mr. Nekitel, sorry for interrupting. Does your organization have enforcement capabilities, say, to carry out an investigation and prosecute? So, for instance, we've got organizations that are lodging these reports. Now, it's common knowledge that a lot of organizations are not giving you the right information or, factual information, because it's also common knowledge that there's a lot of illegal exports taking place, smuggling, if you will. In fact, I think just not too long ago, customs intercepted a significant volume of gold that was about to be smuggled out. And I want to put on note here that we have MRA Central Bank as well as customs here. The other organizations that we asked to turn up that have not turned up are the Labor Department, Migration, and the Environment Protection Authority. So we will be sending notices, but since this is a public hearing, I want to mention this so that the people of our country know that these organizations, for whatever reason, have not bothered to turn up. They are also very important players in this industry. So, Mr. Nekitel, we're going to have a conversation and continue. We're starting to see that what you're basically telling us is that your organization doesn't have the capacity. That's what we're starting to conclude here. We'd like to hear from the central bank. And the central bank here is actually, it's a segment of the central bank known as FASU. Am I correct? Mr. Onea here is representing that organization. And they were given a separate invitation, so they've come as FASU. So again, we also note that central bank, who had been given the invitation, have not turned up, which is unfortunate because, as you have mentioned, they're the organization that we'd really like to hear about or hear from. After that, we will hear from customs as well. They've sent one of their senior officers here, and he can also give us an explanation. But members, if there's any further questions of Mr. Nekitel, please feel free to ask.